Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host, Paul. I'm joined today by MT for once. I thought let's just get into it.
Yeah, man.
What are your thoughts on Robert Downey Jr. coming back?
Bro, the internet is aflame. Like, I thought this would be like a universally praised thing, but people are like, oh my god, I don't know. But I personally think that this is really good. I think that this is a really the right move post Jonathan Majors Kang. I know that they had a huge decision to make in terms of that and like how to like move the multiverse narrative forward. And I think that, bringing in Robert Downey Jr. as a variant Von Doom is like a really smart and genius move to really nail home the concept of variance to everyone who whether they like it or not or understand it or not. So I think it's great. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, so I'm in two minds about it. I will say I think it's an act of desperation, but I also am very hyped as well. I'm having my cake and eating it. I think, Marvel, especially the last couple of years, they've been pushed to a point where things aren't going crazy well for them. And like even Deadpool in Deadpool and Wolverine says to Wolverine, "Welcome to the MCU. You've joined at a low point." So they're well aware of what's going on. They couldn't live with their failure. So they got the Russo brothers back. Stephen McFeely's writing it, and Robert Downey Jr. is back, and he's playing Doctor Doom. It's the stuff I want to see when they talk about, just taking the multiverse concepts and going insane with them. It's a very bit. People are saying it's weird because it's safe and it's also a risk. Because you're obviously bringing back an actor who was perfect for a role. I mean, let's be honest, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark is literally perfect casting. And there's a big chance that they could mess that up. But they're bringing back people who worked really well in the past. It's back to formula, but it's also got that thing with it where it's like, I don't know how they're going to pull this off, and it intrigues me quite a lot. Now, a lot of people don't know, but Robert Downey Jr. actually, he did an audition for Doctor Doom for the original Fantastic Four film. So it's kind of bringing things sort of full circle from that. He didn't get the part, obviously, but it worked out for him in the end. And then they had the issues with Jonathan Majors, obviously. I never understood why, Kang was the villain of Secret Wars because of the whole Secret Wars in the comics is, of course, both are Doctor Doom stories. And I think, I'm very excited to see what happens with it. I know it's risky. I think there's lots of creative things they can do with it, though. And I'm interested to see where they go. So how do you think they're going to introduce it? Because we do know that he's a Victor Von Doom. He's not a Tony Stark variant. He is Victor Von Doom.
Right. Either they could go the route of like, hey, like, because we know the Fantastic Four movie is based in another universe with the Fantastic Four, sort of leaving 616. So like I think that could be the Doom of that universe potentially, because like that the Doom that's native to that universe rather, or we could be seeing like I feel like we might get like a Council of Dooms sort of situation where like all the Dooms from all the different universes come together to probably deal with the Kang problem, because they want to be in charge instead. But what do you think? How do you think they're gonna handle this?
Yeah. So I think the opening scene, it's going to be sort of in the same vein as Infinity War, where Thanos showed up and kicked the crap out of the Hulk and, Thor, and then killed Loki. I think that was such a big thing. And I think we're going to start off with the Council of Kangs, those crazy guys at the end of Quantumania who were all jumping about celebrating. And I think Doctor Doom's just going to come in, wreck shop, destroy them. I do believe he'll be teased in some way or another in Fantastic Four. Perhaps in a post-credit scene, and then he'll come into that. He'll mess everyone up, and I feel like Avengers Doomsday is basically going to be Infinity War, but with Doctor Doom as the main character.
It's not going to end well.
Kind of getting the power of the Beyonders. Yeah. So I think it's going to be all-encompassing. I think we're going to learn his origin story in the MCU, where they're going to go with it. I think he's going to fight the Avengers, and in my head, I can see the Avengers Doomsday trailer empty. It's got lots of flashes of Doctor Doom in the mask, and then the last scene of it is Spider-Man or someone beating up Doctor Doom, beating him up, kicking the crap out of him. They punch the mask off, and then the mask falls down. Doctor Doom looks up, and Spider-Man goes, "Tony?
Daddy?"
And then it cuts to Doom, and Doom... he goes, "Daddy?" and Doom goes, "Who's Tony?" because he's probably going to do an accent. He goes, "Who's Tony?" Boom, cut to black. Avengers Doomsday. I was thinking last night, Doctor Doom is obviously famous for having a scarred face, so he wears a mask. I was wondering if that was going to play into it in some way, where we have the Avengers cannot bring themselves to beat Doom because he looks exactly like the hero that saved their universe. I mean, if you watch Far From Home, literally every other corner there's a picture of Tony Stark. So the world loves him, and I feel like the Avengers can't bring themselves to beat him. And I feel like someone who's an anti-hero, like a Namor or even a Doctor Strange, they're gonna realize, you can't beat this guy because psychologically he's got this hold over you, and they're gonna mess up his face. Ooh. And that's gonna be the reason for it. I do also wonder if they're gonna do a play on the Man in the Iron Mask, which inspired not only Doom, but you've got the Iron Mask and Iron Man. In case you don't know, that's basically about a prisoner who's forced to wear an iron mask, and they discover that it's because he looks identical to the King. I believe it was revealed that he's an identical twin in the story. Not seen it for years, so if that's wrong. But I feel like, having these two characters that look identical, iron masks and so on, it's all going to sort of play off that thematically. So, yeah, that's kind of my theories on it. If it's just a theory, so don't go crazy. But how do you think they're going to utilize him in the MCU? Because a lot of people think they're going to just cover his face the whole time and not ever reveal it's Tony. Or that
I think that in this universe, we're probably going to get a clean face Doom. Because he does have the powers of a god in the original the 2015 Secret Wars event. So he'll probably fix his face and be like, all right, now I'm beautiful again. That's the narrative reason why.
Well, that was the end of it.
Right.
He got his face fixed at the end.
That was the happy ending for Doom at the end. He's like, hey, I'm beautiful again. And then right after that he becomes the infamous Iron Man, right? Shortly after, with his clean face. But I feel like we're because it's Robert Downey Jr. and because he's an expensive guy and he probably doesn't want to do a bunch of makeup or whatever. We're probably gonna get clean face Doom. But then I think what's probably going to happen is that I believe that RDJ is going to be the Doom just for this event, and that we're also going to get introduced the 616 Doom that's gonna come in and be like, hey, Tony Stark, everyone's afraid to beat you up, but I mean not Tony Stark, RDJ. Hey RDJ, everyone's afraid to beat you up, but I'm not afraid to beat you up because I'm the real best Doom. And he's gonna be the main Doom moving forward. Yeah. Because I don't know, I just don't feel like Marvel Studios is going to make an alternate universe Doom their main Doom, because usually all the heroes are rooted in 616 in some type of way. So I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting to see how they tackle that. But yeah.
Do you think they'll even do Doom so close to doing Doom with RDJ? Because I feel like they'll probably give it a couple of years. I feel like they've already said the next saga is the Mutant Saga. I think they'll do that and then probably bring Doom across. I can see Fantastic Four being big characters in it. But yeah, I'm not sure if they do Doom again. And I know that's kind of the point of contention that a lot of people have over this casting, because there has been a bit of backlash to it. And people are saying it's not their Doctor Doom. It's just some weird, stupid MCU desperate to make money thing.
I don't know, man. I just feel like we should give this narrative some grace because it's the Multiverse Saga. Because this entire saga has been about variants and things, people popping up, Multiverse of Madness. We have Doctor Strange versus against Sinister Strange and all these other Stranges. And it's all right. I think that I feel like people should just wait until Fantastic Four, wait until Doomsday just to see how Marvel's playing things out, because I have all faith in Sarah Haley Finn. Sarah Haley Finn does not miss as a casting director. She is spot on. And has been pretty damn good over the past 15 or over 10 years of Marvel Studios history. So I don't know. I feel like they've got something up their sleeves with this casting. Even though we can't see it. I feel like this is just Robert Pattinson when he got cast as Batman. It's oh, what the heck is going on? This is a terrible thing. And then people are like, oh no, this was actually pretty baller. I enjoy this a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that's across the board with most castings, isn't it? There's always backlash to it, and it's only once you see the movie see what they were doing. I do feel like, Marvel have had a lot of... They have taken risks and try to just scramble things together recently. It hasn't all worked out, and you can tell from the fan excitement that this is, I think this is a good move, and it's been perceived in a good way. Like that, we've all seen that video of RDJ on stage taking the mask off and the crowd going wild. So I think they're excited. You know, there are a lot of people who are like, how is this a thing? Even Gwyneth Paltrow's saying, wait, are you a bad guy now? You know, so yeah, there's a lot of confusion. I think they're just going to use the multiverse to explain it. But I think it's a very interesting concept, and I think it's something that Marvel needs. And, you know, the Multiverse Saga, it has been a celebration of everything. We'll not get into Deadpool and Wolverine spoilers, but, you know, there's a lot of things in that celebrate the Fox franchise. The X-Men have obviously been brought back. Even in Multiverse of Madness, Professor X is there. That even had Black Bolt from the Inhumans in. And the Multiverse Saga has been, like, celebrating these guys. So what better way to end it and celebrate, you know, the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe than having the biggest hero become one of the biggest villains, who's driving home Secret Wars.
Exactly.
So I think it's, you know, it's an interesting way. Some people have said it's kicking the can down the road, but, you know, I think in general that's what content creation is. You know, we've now been officially told that we've got job security until 2027, and I think it's just kind of kicking that can down the road and being like, well, we'll figure it out when we get to that, and that will be the Mutant Saga. But yeah, overall, I'm quite excited for it. I'm interested to see what they do. I've got ideas about it. It does people have been calling it basically, you know, Avengers Doomsday written by Reddit, because it is kind of like those clickbait articles and videos where it's like Robert Downey Jr. back in the MCU as Doctor Doom, and, you know, you've got Henry Cavill as Wolverine and that sort of thing. Lots of stuff's going down like that at the moment, but yeah, it's an exciting time. I do feel reinvigorated with the franchise.
No, for sure. And, like, what's really great about this casting is that, like, you know, like, because Secret Wars is the Secret Wars event, obviously it brings, like, everyone that, like, has died in the past and whatever to this event. So, like, because RDJ is involved, we could see RDJ come back as Iron Man as well as play Doom as well. So, like, I'm just very excited for that possibility.
Yeah, I think there's no way you don't have the big final fight is them getting an Iron Man variant from another universe and having him fight Doom. I think that you can lock that in as the final battle, because I don't see which other heroes could fight against him. You know, Captain America maybe, but I feel like Robert Downey Jr., the stakes of having him fighting himself in a multiversal film, that is perfect for it. I think that's definitely what they're going to do. So there's also the Tyrant Avengers, who featured quite heavily in the build-up to Secret Wars. I think it's I think it's Volume 5 of the new Avengers run, I want to say, or it might be the Avengers one, but there's another world out there that they discover where evil Avengers are existing. And a great theory I saw from Chris at 3C Films was that we just get the new Avengers team fighting against variants of an evil Avengers team. So you've got Hydra Captain America, you've got, you know, an Iron Man variant who's became Doctor Doom. I know they're saying Victor Von Doom, but my theory is that maybe it was maybe it was Tony Stark as a kid and he got lost on a trip and adopted into a family and then they changed his name. But, you know, I think just as a concept, an evil version of the Avengers would be good. You know, Hulk could have World War Hulk version in there or something, or Immortal Hulk, who's more kind of a horror skewed thing. Yeah, I think that would be a great way to take things. You know, what I like about it is that there's excitement about talking about this stuff again. And we're doing theories rather than just being like, oh, I don't really care what happens.
Nah, man, like, it is super exciting to finally get, like, casting news for Avengers Secret Wars, because, like, it's sort of just been like, here's the logo and that's it, and, like, we haven't really gotten any, like, core news from it until this weekend. And, like, it's super exciting to see people talking about it, even though, like, you know, they have different opinions. People having conversations about Marvel again and, like, being excited about it is just really invigorating for everyone. And, like, it's just really great for comic book media in general, because we get to make lots of videos about it. Yeah. Just kidding.
Yeah, and I like that it's, you know, there's arguments, but I like that it's arguments about the content and not kind of the things surrounding it. Like, you'll often get bogged down, like, Disney's got too political or they're pushing agendas and stuff like that. And this just feels like, no, we're just focused back on the content itself, fighting stuff and smashing action figures together. It basically is what it seems to have gotten back to. So yeah, happy that it's well. Are we back? We'll see. But it feels like it is because it's been quite a good weekend. You know, Deadpool and Wolverine smashed it. We had this announcement. I saw the Fantastic Four trailer. It looks good. Yeah, excited.
Dude, I cannot wait. Especially for I heard rumors that Scarlett Johansson's coming back as Killmonger, and that's gonna be a big one.
Okay.
We'll
see. It could happen. It could happen. Who knows?
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
Mean, yeah, she's played Asian women before, so yeah, she played lots of Asian characters. So
she's going to Africa.
But we'll see. Yeah, she's every race she's gonna play someone. I remember her saying that she wanted to play a tree or something, and it was like, oh, Groot, better watch out. Maybe she's gonna play a tree for once.
If I'm Groot and I hear Scarlett Johansson's about to be a tree, I'm like, yo, this is the best day of my life, bro.
Yeah, gives you wood. So yeah, that's a good place to end the video, I think. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you had a nice little fun time, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you just spam those comment sections. Thank you for joining me, MT. I actually spoke to Greg and was like, Greg, I know we do Across the Spoilerverse, but do you want to do this video? And he was like, nope. And I was like, well, I'm going to ask MT. And he's like, I was like, I hope you don't mind. He's like, nope, that's fine. I'm like, well, you're fired then, because you should have put it more up. Like, no. So yeah, everyone's having a good time. We're all busy pumping out content, and thank you guys for watching it. Now, if you want something else to watch, we've got a breakdown on screen right now going over all the events of the weekend. And hopefully we'll see you over there right after this. Out of the way, thank you for clicking this, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.